Hoi there everyone, this is FatesFanboy speaking, and in today's video I learned to speedrun Fire Emblem Fates. Not to complete the game as fast as possible, but to be the fastest person in the world to see Hinata shirtless. This is shirtless Hinata percent, and I'm going to try and live commentate it. I learned the route for this run from Kirby Master, who's currently the world record holder for Fates, and I think this is going to be a pretty interesting run. So, as you can see, I choose Milcorn here, something I would typically never do, but we need Milcorn to get Felicia early on in the game. We also give him the clever and fragile attributes, because these attributes are necessary to reach certain benchmarks in this speedrun. Finally, Mage Talent. This might seem like a pretty odd class to choose, but you'll see why it comes in handy later on in the run. So then we finally get into the gameplay of things. We start with the prologue, Ties That Bind. And let me just preface this. Through the speedrun, I learned a lot of new things about Fates. And one of the funniest is probably that you don't even really have to attack in this chapter. You can just skip the cutscene, wait with Corrin, skip the cutscene, wait with Takumi, bam, map ends. Just like that, Ties That Bind prologue is done in a matter of 30 seconds. Moving on to chapter 1, Nor. This is where things get a little bit stressful, because in this chapter you actually have to wait on the very first turn, and then you immediately have to change all your settings. You have to turn off animations, you have to turn off confirm auto battle, and you have to of course set the game speed to fast, because we're speedrunning here. Now, you'll see it multiple times in this run. I'm not very good at menuing, this is kind of not my forte, but the rest of this chapter is pretty straightforward. You move on to the healing tile as stated by the script, and then you just kind of go all in on Xander. On enemy phase, he doesn't initiate combat, so you're free to take him on in battle. And here we got our first level of the run. Now, important to note is that we need strength, magic, and speed, and in this first level we got strength and speed, so that is a really good start. Magic is necessary to one-shot certain enemies later on in the run, but that being said, chapter 2, Gift to Ganglari. This one is also going to be pretty fast, well, all of them are going to be pretty fast realistically. But here we go. Moving Corrin over to the left there. Now, you can see I'm kind of careful with my movement here, because you don't want to believe how many times I've accidentally made Gunther wait. So, move Corrin up, move Gunther up from Corrin as well, and then just wait to have Rinka and the Samurai self-destruct into us. Move Gunther around the corner, and then dual strike Kaze to one-round him with Corrin and Gunther. There you go. Second level of the run. Here we get magic, which we much need, speed. So that is another good level to start with, and here Rinka and the last samurai self-destruct into us. Chapter 2, done. Skip the cutscene, save file, and move on to chapter 3, Journey Begins. This one was one of the more fun ones to learn. It's really not that complicated because it takes 5-6 turns maybe. But the thing is, I like doing this now. You can skip through dialogue really easily if you hold the down button and just spam A. That being said, we lure out these two samurai by moving Corrin and Gunther over to the bridges, get another solid level for Corrin, getting past the speed benchmarks that we need actually, and then we just kinda let Hans do his thing. Move Corrin and Gunther down to activate the Dragon Vein towards the boss. Hans goes off doing his merry thing with the samurai in the fort, and we activate the bridge, and this is where Hans dies. Now fortunately he didn't actually hit the samurai, because if he did, then the healing animations from the fort would have, taken up a bit of time. We move over to the boss right away, we kinda ignore that archer. It is possible if you get enough strength level ups to just one-shot that archer with the Gunther pair-up, but it really doesn't matter that much in the long run. Also kind of an unfortunate level there, but that's alright in the grand scheme of things. We two-round the boss, the samurai to the right is already gone, and now we are just free to end the map by seizing the gate. There we go, chapter 3, done. Skip the cutscene where Gunther falls into the bottomless canyon. Move on to chapter 4, Hoshido. This is one of the slower ones, and also one of the ones where I fumbled just a little bit with menuing, but you'll see that in just a second here. So, multiple things you need to do right off the bat. You need to move Rinka over to the village, visit, skip the cutscene. Now move over to Kaze, ideally, but I missed him twice. Trade the vulneraries to Corrin, pair up, and then trade the goddess icon to Corrin, use it immediately. Accidentally unequipped Ganglari, so a little bit of a time loss, but that's fine. From this point onwards, we just need to move northwest as quickly as possible, activating all the dragon veins along the way. This is a route map, so you need to take out all the faceless, but Ryoma is going to help considerably with that. Here's where we can set up our auto battle to blitz, which will basically make all our characters move towards the enemies and attack them as soon as possible. Another level, strength and speed, very good to see. We've definitely reached all the benchmarks that we need by this point. Destroy this middle mountain so that the boss and the rest of the faceless come and target us. Ryoma moves further up. We move over to the northwest as well. Wait, have more faceless self-destruct into us. Level 7 already. We get more strength, more speed. So that's always good to see. Now we move up to that dragon vein in the top left there. Activate it so that Ryoma and the faceless can kind of move further in and make this map a bit quicker. Ryoma takes out the top left faceless, we take out the boss on this turn, and Ryoma and Hinoka can take out the final one to end off this map once we end our turn. And there you go. Hoshido done. One of the slower maps, about a minute and a half, but that is perfectly fine because there's going to be a few maps where we can still save quite a bit of time. Save over to Chapter 5 Mother, last chapter of the pre-Branch of Fate chapters. And this one is ironically faster than the last one, but this one also has a lot of luck factors into it. Move Korin down to the bottom left to take out those two mercenaries, pair up Rinka and Kaze to give him just a bit more offensive power, and sing with Azura to make sure that he can attack the mercenary on his first turn.
No hesitation.
Again, I kind of messed up with the movement. It is kind of tough to do quickly because it's kind of precise, but that's fine. Kaze and Korin take out the mercenaries on enemy phase. Move Korin down one space and Kaze left one space to bait out the enemies that are to the bottom, leaving one Dark Mage that will move in towards Kaze at the end of this turn. And now what we can do is just move Korin down, vulnerary because he's been damaged quite a bit, and then auto-battle to have Kaze take out the last Dark Mage. So Ryoma and the hooded figure are battling it out down there, and this map, yeah, it has the opportunity to kill Ryoma pretty early on. It also has the opportunity to just make you miss the hooded figure with Korin. But we just auto-battle here. Korin actually took him out on the first try. Get another level up in strength and magic. So that's perfect. We've definitely reached those benchmarks. And that is Chapter 5 done. Get a few cutscenes that we can skip through. And this is also where we get the Yato and the Dragonstone. We can also just skip past that because we are going to use them, but we don't really care about the cutscenes. Chapter 6, the path is yours. And this... Actually, I take back what I said before, this is probably the funniest thing I learned. So we obviously picked the birthright route, and now in the white light, first Hoshido chapter. And really, all we need to do here is just auto-battle. I'll just let this play out, you'll see how this works out in a second. Auto-battle, boom, map is done. So what happened there is Ryoma and Xander are battling it out. The objective of this map is you need to kill Xander, who is the boss of the Norin army, and Ryoma probably just Astride or crit him. That being said, my castle tutorial, we need to place the Rod Shop because we need to buy a few items here right off the bat. And then we just skip through Lilith's and Felicia's dialogue. So, in the Rod Shop, we buy a Master Seal, a Heart Seal, 2 Speed Tonics, and a Magic Tonic. The full run buys a bit more at a later stage in the run, but this is all we need for the purposes of this run. Immediately move on to the next battle, which takes place at Fort Jinya, a Vow Upheld. This is the Silas map. And this is the map where things can go quite awry, I want to say. There's multiple things that can go wrong here. First, we need to swap our positions to have Kaze closest to the chest, have Felicia close to Korin, and have Azura close enough so that she's immediately in range to dance Felicia. Move Kaze over to the chest immediately to open it, but also to get in range of the outlaw that is within the center room there. Pair up Felicia and Korin, pair up Tsubaki and Hana, and then move Felicia over into the left room, sing with Azura, and target that fighter that is down there. Now, this is where the magic benchmark comes in. Korin has just enough magic to one-shot these fighters with the Dragonstone. So now we have a free way. This is where I auto-battle, and I don't think I should have done that because this messes up the enemy AI a little bit to where things are not going to work out quite as I intended, but you'll see. Strength, magic, skill, speed, beautiful level, we will absolutely take that. Auto-battle once again to have our characters move just a bit faster around the map. Take out this outlaw, one-shot him with the Dragonstone. Again, auto-battle, but this is where I remember that actually in this turn I was supposed to move Rinka to a space close to Azura. But as you can see, that did not work out. That's fine, soldier goes in to target Azura. This is where I have to improvise a bit. I have to take out this soldier with Korin, and then auto-battle to have Azura move deeper in, bait out the fighter, take that one out with Korin as well. There's a bit of a time loss because you can just have Tsubaki and Rinka here to double team that fighter and have Korin immediately move down. That's fine, save it by singing Korin with Azura, move him down, and end turn. I was supposed to auto-battle again there to have Tsubaki move further in towards the Armored Knight in the center, but that's okay. Again, minor time loss, and we're going to make it up in future chapters as well. You'll see.
I'm here to help.
So, auto battle to have them move deeper in, as I said. Corrin can now go for Silas and the Cavalier to the left, with Azura in tow. Tsubaki's battling out the Armored Knight in the middle, and bam, auto battle, turn is done, chapter's done. Chapter 8, Fierce Winds. But before that, we quickly pop a C support with Felicia to get just a little more para bonuses, because these obviously increase with support level. Now the reason we actually picked Felicia over Jacob is because Felicia actually gives +2 damage dealt and -2 damage taken. You know, evasive partner from Jacob is good, but having more damage dealt and less taken is just better in the context of this run. Now this is where we need to do a few changes to Corrin. So we deposit the Dragonstone, lower use Vulnerary and the Tonic. We use the Heart Seal to reclass Corrin to Dark Mage, not just because this is going to improve his damage output against most of the physical enemies in the upcoming chapters, but also because the Dark Mage class makes it so that you don't have a movement penalty in the sand, which is obviously quite potent here. Use a Speed Tonic, use a Magic Tonic to up his offenses, take the Rat Spirit from Orochi, and we're good to go. Pair up Rinka with Tsubaki for some more offensive power, chip down the Samurai to set up a kill for Corrin. This level up with Azura was not intended, but was a result of me singing so much in chapter 7, but that's fine, again minor time loss. Move him all the way to the left to take out the enemies on the left, with auto battle later on. Kill that with Corrin, and turn. And from here on out, we just move Corrin up towards Fuga, and we auto battle with the rest of our characters. Pair up Azura with Saizo to make sure she doesn't run off on her own and die somewhere. Auto battle to take out some enemies to the left and the right. Get another level with Corrin. Skill speed, it's okay. Speed is always nice to have. There is a certain speed benchmark, but we've passed most of them by this point. Need to think for a little bit where to place Corrin because that archer can actually have 2 positions, but in this case I just move him up 3 spaces. Enemy face the archer and enemy face the Oni Savage as well to the right. From this point we take out the Shrine Maiden, and from here it's pretty much smooth sailing. Now I ended turn here, should have autoed again to take out that random enemy that still remains in the middle of the map there. But that's fine, we can just enemy phase, and we can also just auto battle here to attack Fuga, and actually we got a stroke of pretty good luck here because I just took him out on enemy phase. People will know how annoying Fuga is as a boss, because he has Wind Disciple, which gives him extra avoid, but we got lucky, took him out on enemy phase, and that is chapter 8 done. Now we're on to the final chapter of this run. I can already purchase the accessory shop, because for this run to end we need 2 things, the accessory shop because we need the bath towel, and we need Hinata. So we're getting the second requirement now, which is Hinata. Hinata joins at the end of chapter 9, because we're not actually going to talk to him in this chapter. Now here's where I fumble a little bit. I should have only brought Kaze, Hinoka, Felicia and Corrin, but I actually deselected Felicia, so I had to improvise a bit. You can see I'm a little flustered with my menuing, but that's alright because we kind of just deposit most of the stuff here, use the secret book, and then we take the Master Seal to immediately promote to Dark Knight. Now what this does is not only give Corrin more movement, but this also gives him the opportunity to use the Yato again, which is just going to help immensely against less defensive units, more resistance heavy units. As is, for example, the boss of this map, Zola. We use the secret book and the speed tonic to up his offense just a little bit more. Pair up Felicia with Corrin to give him more stats. I believe we also popped a B support with Felicia prior to starting this map. And then we just kind of move Corrin as deep in as we can. So we use his great movement by this point to just move around the map really easily. And we leave Hinoka and Kaze there to take out the stragglers near the bottom. Move Corrin between the 2 Armored Knights there, auto battle with Hinoka to put her towards the enemies at the bottom. Auto battle again to bring Corrin up. And finally, we are going to take out this Armored Knight with Corrin manually. We've got this. There we go. Get a door key, and the turn. I should have again auto battled to take out that lower enemy that remains. But from this point onward, we can move in on Zola, we can attack him with the Yato. He's almost dead, 1 more auto battle, 1 more enemy phase will take him out. Get a Master Seal deposited, doesn't really matter by this point. Map is almost done, 1 more auto battle will make sure that Hinoka takes out the lower enemy, and that is chapter 9 done. Skip these cutscenes, and this is the final part of the run. Save, talk to Felicia, build the accessory shop as soon as possible. I know where it is, place it down as close as possible, and then just beeline for it. As it happens, Hinata is actually on duty, but I can't find him. I'm just fumbling by this point. I failed to find him in the menu. I actually skipped past the bath towel, and there it is. Shirtless Hinata % done in 13 minutes and 48 seconds. That's the end of the run. This was probably quite a lot to take in, but it was really fun to do, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then please consider subscribing, please consider joining our Discord server, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye!